Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Collector's Thoughts. I'm your host, Respawn Granted. As always, my co-host, Real Batman. And today we wanted to kind of celebrate Mario's 35th anniversary. He's turning 35 this year, and Nintendo is, kind of doing some big stuff with them. But before we continue, how you doing today, man?
Good. Celebrating Mario's 35th birthday. Freaking prick. I'm 8 years old with him. Not cool.
He's a year older than me. I'm following that plumber right down the toilet. No, I'm kidding. I love Mario. He's actually one of my favorite mascots. I actually, as far as I can remember, he was probably one of the first video games that I played from what I can remember. And I'm glad that Nintendo's doing this. And next year is actually going to be Zelda. I believe Zelda's turning 35 also next year. So,
Year apart. That's good.
yeah, Mario has had a great stretch. I mean, before we continue, I just want to tell you guys the Nintendo celebrating the anniversary by having a Mario 35th anniversary 3D collection. That's 3 games: Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've never played Mario 64. I know that's a big thing. Everyone's gonna have words to say to me, but I've never played it. So this is a great time for me to play it. You too, right?
I played Mario 4. That's bad for you.
I know, dude. I know. I can't. Somewhere along that line, you know what happens when the N64 came out? I wasn't big into it, and at that time I hadn't started working just yet. So, and the games were really expensive. So I kind of went more towards Sony at that point because you can get a lot of good games, $20 a piece, whereas Nintendo 64, they were 50, 60. I think there was even $70 games. So it was a little hard for someone like me at that time to get those kind of games. So I never played it. And but I'm excited to get this collection because now I can. And then Mario Sunshine was GameCube. I did play a little bit of that one. And then Mario Galaxy was on the Wii, and I actually enjoyed that one a lot too. But that's not all Nintendo's doing. They're actually releasing a Game & Watch where you can actually replay the first Mario. You can replay, I think it's Lost Levels, and you can play like a little Game & Watch game that was specially designed for Mario. So that's kind of cool. They're selling for $50. It's a little machine. It also tells you the time when when you're not using it. So that's pretty neat. One thing that stinks is that it's going to be limited, so good luck finding it, I guess. Yeah, we all know how limited stuff works, especially when it comes to like Nintendo and stuff. So I hope I find it, but I'm not going to hold my breath. And the last thing that they're doing,
the demand, it's to drive up the price. Like, you know what I mean? It's happening with everything. It seems like these days. So. Yeah.
I know it's frustrating. Everything now is limited because they know it's going to push sales, and I can't really blame them. But that's what they're doing, and they're actually doing. I think you are.
I blame them.
Make more. Stop it.
You could be politically correct. I'll just go right off the F and deep end and be like F you and make more.
Yeah, it's true. They should make more because I think they're actually doing limited physical releases on the 3D collection also, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of ridiculous, but they're doing it. And they're also re-releasing, it was a Wii U game, Super Mario 3D World, I think it is, with like a bonus. They're not sure if it's levels or what yet. It's still new, but it's like bonus content called Bowser's Fury, I think it is. And the last thing that they're doing is they're releasing this is kind of cool. It's Mario Kart, that you can actually physically grab a car, Mario or Luigi, and put them on your like floor, and you set up like cones around your living room or whatever, and you actually drive the car using the Switch as like a remote control, and on your screen it looks like you're playing just regular Mario Kart, but in real life you got Mario or Luigi driving around your living room if you have the space for it. That's pretty neat. It's kind of cool.
I don't have the space for that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, no.
Knowing me, I'd probably break something.
knowing me, my kids would probably break it. So that's gonna be one I'm gonna skip. I'm not gonna I believe it's retailing for about $100. It seems cool, but I don't have the space, and I have two kids that are aggressive kids. They're young boys, so to them, they like making things fly and bounce, and Mario Kart would be good for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely.
But yeah, so I kind of wanted to give an update of what Mario's doing. Very exciting news with what they're planning on releasing with some of that stuff's the end of this year, some of that stuff's at the beginning of next year. So very exciting news, and we wanted to show some love to our favorite plumber, and we also wanted to discuss some of our own experiences and some of our own like favorite games because he's been around for 35 years. We've all played plenty of Mario games. So I think I've done enough talking. I would like for you to start it. Tell us a little bit about your experience with Mario, man.
It's limited. It is limited. I've played some Mario Kart. I've played the Mario on the N64. But the ones that I played a lot was the very first on NES. My favorites of all time, probably not going to be popular with some people, but to me, I'm more of that nostalgic type person. So the original Super Mario Brothers on NES and Super Mario Brothers 3, I kind of leapfrogged the second one because I don't know. It was a good game too, but I don't know. It was Super Mario Brothers 1 on the NES and the third one. Those are my two favorite all time, and I could play those even today. Even today, I would play those. But other than that, I mean, I have Mario Kart on the DS, which I played with my wife before. You know, that you can do like the two separate DSs and you can race against each other. So that's pretty fun. But it is very limited. Early on, like I said, on the regular NES, I played a lot of Mario. I think everybody did back then. You know what I mean? I don't think that anybody back then didn't play Mario. But as the systems advanced, I started to shift more towards other games, especially sports. So the Mario experience for me is limited. I'm probably forgetting some of the other Mario games because I know I've played more than those that I've mentioned. I just can't remember them right now.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's been so many, and I'd have to agree with you. I personally, I've played a ton of Mario games myself, and I still keep going back to 1 and 3. I love 1, but I absolutely love 3. I think 3 was something that 1 was too. It was something that I could keep going back and playing, but there's something special about Mario Brothers 3. They had power ups. They had that almost like board game style where you select the different levels. The graphics were good too. Um, it just I don't know, man. It was something about that game that was just so special to me personally. And
I think I did a fantastic job because again, it was on the same console. But when you look at 1 and then you look at 3, the amount of improvement in gameplay and graphics on the same console was, for me at the time, was like mind blowing.
it's true. It's incredible how much they jumped. It's not like Mario Brothers 3 was on a different console. It was the same one. And it's amazing how much they improved from 1 to 3 visually. And the thing is, I'm not gonna bash on Mario Brothers 2. I did like Mario Brothers 2, but it was not the same for me personally. Like I played it, I beat it, I enjoyed it, but it's one of those things where for every one time I beat Mario Brothers 2, I beat Mario Brothers 3 and 1 like 50. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same. It was a great game, a lot of fun, but 1 and 3 to me blew it out of the water. And then you jump over to Super Nintendo, and I was a huge fan of Super Mario. I believe it was Super Mario World when they introduced Yoshi, brand new character, same board game map, and that was another great game. My cousin had it on the Super Nintendo because I never owned a Super Nintendo, and we beat it over and over and over again. That was another great game right there. I'd put that one right there with Mario 3. One of my favorites of all time, Mario 3 and Mario World, and then 1 right
Yeah.
after.
See, I never really played Mario World. I actually watched you guys play.
Oh, really?
I'm the oldest one, so I mean, well, not the oldest one, but out of us, that group
Yeah.
that we're talking in the family, I am the older one, and I used to watch you guys play. I didn't have the Super Nintendo, so back then I was a Genesis guy, Sega Genesis.
Me
So
too.
I had transformed from Mario to Sonic.
Yeah.
although Sonic with those freaking rings used to drive me nuts. But yeah, I think from what I watched, and I did play a little bit of Super Mario World, but not enough to say that it's going to be there with 3 and 1.
Right.
It's not level for me, but it was definitely a good game for that console too. I think a lot of people, echo your sentiment that Super Mario World also for the Super Nintendo was a very good game.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And then let me see from there. I mean, we're not going in order of like the game. I'm just talking about my own personal experience with the ones I've touched because I know there was like, there was other ones too. I'm sure I'm missing, but I didn't really play them, so I can't comment on them. But I know for me, after I remember playing, what was it? Like I said, I unfortunately didn't get to play Mario 64. I've seen other people play it. I didn't really get to play. Then, but I did play Mario Sunshine. I did play Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. You have, and those were all great games. But to me, the 3D Marios just never hit home like the 2D ones. Like I remember when I believe it was on the DS, they released, I think it was called New Super Mario Brothers, where it was they brought it back to that Super Mario Brothers 3 style, where it's like what do they call it, 2.5D. It's kind of like almost 3D, but not. It's still side scrolling. And man, I beat that game in like, I don't know, like 2 days. I loved it so much. I just blasted right through it. Then they made a sequel to it. I blasted through that one too. It's just something about Mario in the 2D world that I can't get sick of it. I keep playing those over and over again. I love them. Once again, not to bash the 3D ones, but now that I think about it, I don't even think I beat a single 3D Mario. I've played a bunch of them. I don't think I've even beaten them. And I have Mario Odyssey for the Switch, and I love that game. I still never finished it. Whereas
Right.
the 2D ones I've beaten, you know?
It's not the same. When I think about Super Mario Brothers, the 3D thing, it doesn't do anything for me at all. At all.
Yeah.
It's
It's different. And it's not to say anything bad, because those are still great games. Don't get me wrong. Mario
Yeah.
64, Mario Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey, those are all great Nintendo Mario games. And I do plan on eventually beating them. But there's something about the 2D ones that will grab me and hold me, and I'll finish the game. They actually re-released, because I never owned a Wii U either. They re-released, what was it? New Super Mario Brothers Wii U Deluxe or something like that. And it's a re-release of the Wii U version. And a lot of guys on YouTube that I watch were like bummed. They're like, oh, why did they release this one? This one's not even that great. Blah, blah, blah. I loved it. I played through it. I beat it in like 2-3 days. Enjoyed it. Those 2D games, the Mario 2D games are special to me. They're so much fun. I actually started showing my son them. He kind of was enjoying himself with those games as well. And like I said, I do want to go back and finish the 3D ones, because I would like to finally say I beat Mario 64 and all that. But for now, I'm perfectly content with saying that I love the 2D ones. They're amazing to me, and I just don't get sick of them. I can just keep going back and playing them again and again.
Yeah. I agree. I like I said, the 3D stuff for Mario never appealed to me. I'm more that vintage. Like when I think about the Mario games, it's the 2D. I'm sorry, I can't do I just can't do it. And like I said, like I played, like I said, and again, I'm not knocking on, like to go back a little bit. Like the second one, I wasn't saying it. You said it earlier. I'm not saying that it was a bad game. I'm just saying for whatever reason, it didn't sit with me like the first one and the third one did. There was something about the first one because it was, before that it was Atari. You know what I mean? So when the NES hit, it was like Super Mario, like, and then the second one came out, I was like, it's different. And then when the third one came out, it just blew everybody's mind. Like, I remember back then, it was like Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 3. Everybody just completely skipped over the second one. They forgot all about it. Definitely. But there's been a lot. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do to celebrate. Like you've already mentioned some of the stuff they're planning on doing, and that's cool. And we'll see what they do with the. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Nintendo making another console, but if they would make one after the Switch, it would be interesting to see if they kind of bring back Mario in a full force, like kind of, so to speak. Not to say that they've abandoned him, but kind of like resurrect him a little bit more, bring him back to kind of be like the focal point of the console, like it used to be years ago. Because they've kind of, I don't know that they've, I'm not really that big into video games anymore, but I feel like they've kind of gone away from that to a certain degree. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that it seems like now Nintendo, they're more content with just releasing like one Zelda, one Mario, and one. Actually, I can't even say Metroid, but I was gonna say Metroid per console, and they're content with that. They would almost rather re-release other games or put them in different things. Like for example, Smash Brothers is another good game. And they have your classic, they have your Nintendo characters in there. You got your Links, you got your Star Fox, your Marios, Pokemon, all in there. But it does kind of seem like Nintendo does one new Mario game and then like maybe two re-releases, and they seem to be content with that. In a way, except for the handhelds though, like the DS, the 3DS, that one they would kind of do like, maybe two or three. And that's part of the reason why I love the handheld so much from Nintendo is because not only did they bring Mario back to the side-scrolling 2D for those kind of games, but they would also re-release Super Nintendo games that I never got to play. And they would do, like I said, instead of just one Mario game and one Zelda game, it would be like one or two and then some re-releases. And, you end up with like 4 or 5 Mario games by the time the console's done or the handheld's done. But yeah, I wouldn't say you're wrong. They still give him plenty of attention, but they just seem to be more content with one brand new Mario, and that will last you a few years. That's what it seems to be.
Probably. I mean, you would know in this area. You would definitely know better than me. I've kind of shied away from the video games thing, and even before, I was more into sports until I figured out that sports is all freaking fixed. But that's besides the point. That's has nothing to do with the collecting world.
Right.
That's rigged.
The
Scalpers 2.0.
Speaking of sports, actually, that's another thing too that they did a lot with Mario is they gave some sports titles with him. Have you ever played like you mentioned Mario Kart? Have you ever played like Mario Strikers or Mario Golf?
Mario Golf. Mario Golf.
Mario Golf. You never played the soccer one, Mario Strikers?
No.
What about the baseball one?
Nope.
No? See, that's the thing. They've done those other games, and surprisingly, and they did Mario Tennis too. And surprisingly, they're actually fun. They actually do a good job. They don't just throw them in there and say, like, here you go. They actually make the game fun. Like, I actually had a Mario basketball game on the DS, which was pretty fun. I have a Mario Tennis game for the Switch, which is fun. He's in Smash Brothers, which is a lot of fun too. Mario Golf was good. See, the thing is, Mario Strikers was another good one. These are all fun games. For me personally, it's one of those where I play like a couple matches and then I won't touch it for a while. You know what I mean? Like I don't stay in it to the point where I'm like finishing seasons and everything. But it's one of those that's fun to mix it up. Like if you don't feel like playing like a Madden or NBA 2K or any of that, you put in something like Mario and you still get that competitive edge out of it, but just silly because he's got power-ups and everything else to make the game more Mario-like. But they're fun. They're pretty fun games. I don't know if they've ever made a bad Mario game, one where you're like, this is trash. I can't think of any that.
I can't think of any either. I think they've all been good games. It's just obviously like anything else, some are better than others.
Right.
Like just on the first console, when you go 1, 2, and 3, 2 was kind of in the middle somewhere, just like alone there, because people played it. But once 3 came out, they forgot all about 2. That's just based on what I remember. Like people, when they finished 3, they would go back to 1. I know I did it.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't really. I couldn't be bothered with 2. I really couldn't. Even before 3 came out, I would play 1, and 2 was the new one. I remember getting it. I was excited. I played it, and I played it a couple times, and I played it, and I went, yeah, I'm going back to 1.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time my brother was like, why didn't you beat that already? I'm like, yeah, but I just like that one better. And there was just something about 2 that it wasn't, like I said, like you just said, I don't think they've ever made a bad Mario game. I just don't care for certain ones. I mean, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there would agree that there's certain ones that they like better than others. But you can say that about any game. You can say that about Splinter Cell and other franchise games that, you know what I mean, that they did more than one. So,
I mean, the thing is, there's no way that a character, a mascot has been around this long, and there's no way that someone can tell me that there's not certain ones they like better than others. It's just impossible. There's no way you can like every single one evenly. If they only made 2, then fine. I'd say, you know what, I might believe you if you say they're both equally as good. But the fact that they've made so many different Mario games and different styles, there's got to be some people that favor certain ones over the others. Like me and you were talking, and we seem to favor the 2D ones. But if you get somebody who's either younger or just favors 3D games more, they might say we're crazy. You know, Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine are the best ones, you know? And that's okay. I was just wondering if there ever was a bad one, and I don't think there was. There might have been some that were like okay, but even then, I don't think, because even the ones I didn't care for that much would still get like a 7 or maybe even an 8 out of 10 in my opinion, because they were still really fun and really good. They just weren't really my cup of tea to the point where I'd keep coming back, like certain favorite ones like Mario 1, Mario 3, and Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm just excited. I'm glad that they're doing something to celebrate his 35 years. I hope. I mean, I don't want to say I hope they do more, but I can't get enough Mario. I love it, and I would like to see. You know, I'd like to see that they're celebrating this way, and then next year we'll see what they do with Link and Zelda, because it's supposed to be their 35th, and I know there's a lot of people out there that's their Nintendo guy. For me, it's Mario, but for a lot of people, it's Link and Zelda.
There was, I had a phase where I went away from Mario for a while, and it was just Zelda and Link. So yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like my Zelda and Link, but I don't know, man. Mario just was it for me, and it always has been.
It's the plumbers crack. Be honest.
Yeah, that's what it is. Him and his brother. But but yeah, man. Yeah. So I mean, I don't really have much else to add. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experiences with Mario, or our experiences with Mario, and how, you know, mentioned like the 35th anniversary and how Nintendo's celebrating it, and our personal experiences with it, and you know, some of the games that we really enjoyed growing up and even enjoy now. But let us know in the comments, guys. Like, what's your favorite Mario game? What do you think? You know, what would you like to see re-released, or what direction would you like to see Mario go in? You know, let us know.
Absolutely. Oh, what you guys would like to see? You know, hopefully they'll kind of go back to making more than one per console. Let us know if you think that's a good idea. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and before anyone goes crazy, I know on the Wii U they made 2 Mario games. I know. I'm just saying, typically they make 1 per console. That seems to be the pattern. But I know there's exceptions to the rules. But hey, you know what? Let us know. Put comments down below and tell us. But all right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.